Thanks very much, Ian. Look, I'd have to say I'm extremely honoured to be asked to propose the toast to the Carlton Football Club for a couple of reasons. The first is that it's a great club. Formed in 1865, according to the book I've got at home, Collo, but you tell me 1864. 16 flags, 3 night grand final flags. Some great men have played for Carlton. In our time, some of us remember Soapy Valance, but the Nicholls, the Jezzers, more recently the Kernahans, the Kutafitis. There's been some great teams, and we agree it's a great jumper. The dark navy blue with the CFC, Carlton Football Club, but there's a certain Italian priest, Father Brigley, used to say it was "Come Father Christ." But I'm particularly pleased to be here tonight because of the great win on Saturday night in the Wizard Cup Grand Final. And I think, Ian, well, let's start from the beginning. The players, Dennis Pagan, the staff, the committee, right up to Ian Collins, all need to be congratulated on the turnaround that's occurred in the club, which has been symbolised by that great win. And it was a good win because the question was asked with 10 minutes to go and the guys actually answered it very, very authoritatively. So Guernsey presentation night marks the start of the 2005 season, and I'd certainly like to congratulate all of those who are going to receive their Guernseys tonight. Only people in your position, or those that have been there before, know the sacrifices, the effort, the pain to get to this point. Yep, there are benefits, but there's a lot of effort and just sheer willpower to get to this point. So I think we should reflect on what receiving a Carlton Guernsey means. The dark navy blue with the CFC monogram. First of all, you're on the list. It means you're eligible to play in the 22 and an opportunity to play in the Carlton team during the year, and I'll talk about the team later on. Secondly, you get a number, and that number, if you get it for the first time or you're getting it for the 10th time, is important because you'll be known by that number. Indeed, let's take the number 3. I used to be known by the number 3. My girlfriend used to call me 3. My friends call me 3. And indeed, it's hard to imagine that I was allowed to wear 3. You would have thought number 3 would have been retired, and that no one else was allowed to wear it after Kevin Hall retired. But indeed, it's gone on. I've worn it. Rocky Dennis has worn it. Many other Carlton players have worn it since. And Digby Morrell wears it now. And Digby, you have to know that we're watching you, we're riding every bump, we're right behind you, everything you do. And anybody that's played in a Carlton jumper has the same feeling about their number. Isn't that right, Will? Absolutely. So when you go out there, think about the guys who've gone before you and do the number, the honour it deserves. The next thing you get when you get a Carlton jumper is you actually get a locker with your number on it. And if you play 100 games, you get the honour of getting your name on that locker, and that's something I think every Carlton player who receives a jumper tonight who has not got their name on the locker should aspire to. But lockers are a mixed blessing. They're convenient, but they know where you live. And I've seen some live animals, reptiles, blow-up dolls turn up out of lockers. But probably the most sophisticated I saw was Bruce Doyle going to open his locker one day, and we can thank, I think, Rod Ashman for this one. He opened his locker, and it was lined inside by a page out of the Inside Football newspaper, which had come out midweek, which was an article by Kenny Hunter, who had just joined the club, on how to play the half-back flank. And if you get a Carlton jumper, you also become an identity and potentially a celebrity. So you can go to social events, you get the banter of the football club amongst the other senior players. In a risque sense, you get issues debated like, is sex better than marking the goal square? You get to go to sportsmen's nights, and I indeed went to a sportsman's night when I was younger with Soapy Valance, who had one-liners like, I'd like to eat a football and chew the laces. And he had the story of the longest kick and everything else. And if you really make a name for yourself, you end up on the Footy Show. But I think most importantly, if you get a Guernsey tonight, you get that opportunity to have that chance, that enduring satisfaction of putting every ounce of your energy and your being on the line every weekend, and putting your mental strength, your concentration, your emotional commitment and your spirit on the line for your club and your teammates, and if you win, you'll never forget it. And I think that's the thing that getting the jumper really means. Now, when I first got here, this was a very proud club. It was wealthy, it had a player list to die for. We had Jezza, Swan Mackay, Dooley, Perce Jones, Rod Ashman, to name a few. And I think, we went on to do great things, but I think everybody accepts that it's much harder now. It's a much harder competition, it's professional, there's 16 teams, there's a draft, there's a salary cap, and it's the professionalism of the club that in the end has to get you over the line. And I'd have to say on Saturday night, I thought the first tangible step forward of rebuilding the club was actually put in place. The first peg was put in the ground. And so tonight, players, you'll receive a jumper, which is your opportunity this year to write your history in 2005 and to carry on the history of the Carlton Football Club. So I'd have to wish you all the best with that opportunity. I think watching you on Saturday night, I think you've got something special, and it's up to you to grasp that opportunity. So, just as you will put all your commitment and heart and soul into the Carlton Football Club, I'd like to propose that everybody charge their glasses, be upstanding, and toast the Carlton Football Club. Carlton Football Club.